Hi, everybody. How are you?
Good,
Wel-
good.
Welcome to the Arts and Authors Talk show. We are here on Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day to you all. Um, as you can see, I'm outside uh, because I'm at my daughter's house for her cookout. But I was determined I was going to make this show happen, so that's why we are still here. And I'm on my phone, so I can't see everything, but I'm going to try to do my best. And our guest, which I'm going to introduce her in a minute, she's going to be able to see certain things online. And if anyone has a question, they are welcome to ask the questions. But my name is Kim Ross-Hollingsworth, and I'm the founder of the Arts and Authors Extravaganza and Book Builders Academy. And the purpose of this podcast is so that we can get a chance to learn a little bit more about our authors and artists and just to dig a little bit deeper, because when I'm at the shows, I don't get a chance to actually go around and speak to everyone and hear about what they have going on and so forth. So that's the purpose of this podcast. So tonight we have with us Nicole Denise Smith. How you doing, Nicole? How's
I
everything?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
I'm making it happen.
Yes, you're doing it.
And I knew tonight, well, anyway, this show is not as formal as most people would think. And, I'm just glad that I can get a chance to talk to you because, and to stay on schedule. Even though it's Memorial Day, I still wanted to stay on schedule. But
Yes.
how's everything going?
Everything's good. Everything is good. Can't complain. I love days like this because I get to be off from my day job and have like an extra day in the weekend. So
Exactly. Oh yeah, that is true. That
yeah.
is true. That's one of the things I like when I was working.
Mm-hmm.
I always had off on Mondays and Fridays.
Oh,
And Mondays normally fell on a holiday or an extended holiday, which was so special. And that's one of the main reasons why I loved having my Mondays off.
yes.
And I'm helping my daughter now with her store, and today was Monday. I'm still off on Mondays, and she actually had to go in. So it is a plus.
It's nice, right?
Yes,
And
it
it's beautiful
is.
weather. Like I like sunny days always put me in a good mood, no matter what's going on. So
Amen.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
it's a good day.
I agree. I agree. So tell us, you actually came to one of my events, and this was the Arts and Authors. Tell us about that and when you came. And then I want you to tell a little bit more about yourself,
Yes.
how you got started and so forth.
Okay. So I did your event August of 2016.
That's amazing.
Yes, yes. And at that time, I only had two books at the time.
Wow.
And your event, it was at the mansions.
It was at the mansion at the time. Yes, it
Mm-hmm.
was.
Yes, and it was very. I got a lot from that event. I got to see because I feel like I was still kind of getting my feet wet with the whole self-publishing route. So to
Yes,
see a room full of self-published authors and just like
exactly.
how they're doing it and their marketing, like I would never forget seeing this one lady maybe like two tables from me. When she
Mhm.
was setting up her table, like she pulled up this thing that had her picture, and I said, "Oh, okay, I need to do
Yes.
that. Like, I need to. I'm not on that level yet, but but
Yeah.
it just to see that, and then you had a photographer there who was taking pictures for everybody. I got
Yes.
a photograph from that event of myself. Actually, a picture that was taken of me at that event is
You have it on your website.
my profile picture on Facebook because it
Yes,
was that
you
good. I'm not changing it. It's fine. It's fine. I
it's a beautiful picture.
don't care. Yes, I got a
I
lot from
saw
your
that.
I got a lot from your event. I also remember not only just having the tables and having, where people can come and buy our books, but giving us the opportunity to, I think one at a time, we got to go up there on stage and
Yes,
speak.
you did.
And I remember a guy saying how this was the first stop on his own book tour. And that was another thing I took in, like, okay, yep, I got to
Wow.
generate my own promotion. So I learned a
Exactly.
lot from that event alone. It was great.
Well, that's what I like about it. And, it's a time to network, especially
Mm-hmm.
with the other authors and artists. And I try to have some resources for the newbies, because we all, just like you said, everybody need to start at their
Mhm.
own pace. And when you came along, like you said, there were some things that you noticed from the other authors, and that you would want to do in the
Yes.
future. And
Yes.
that's the purpose of having those events. Each
Yes.
one teach one.
Yep.
And that's the main motto. My motto. It's like each one teach one. And look at where you're at now. Tell us where you're at now.
Well, today I have four children's books that I
Wow.
have self-published, and I just really, really enjoy writing children's books. I don't know what it is. I think it is my career as a teacher and
Yeah.
just that favorite time of the day where you're only doing literacy has transcended into me writing stories. So as of now, I have four books.
Wow.
I have a website. I didn't have that before,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just taking things into my own accord in
That's
terms
right.
of getting
Well,
these.
I agree. So can you give us some of the names of your books? Give us
Yeah,
the names of your books. And
yeah.
if you have them with you, show us your book.
Okay, so my very first book is called "Could My Teacher Be a Superhero?"
Mm.
So this book, trying to make sure it's on there. There we go.
Yep, I can see it.
So this book was my very first book, and I started writing it in 2012. So I told my grandmother that I wanted to write books on the side because I was teaching, but I
Yes,
still felt like a void a little bit. And I said, you know what? I want to leave something behind. I want to leave a
that's
legacy.
right.
I love reading the kids, but I'm not finding the books
Mm-hmm.
with me in it or about really anything that they can connect to. So, why not write my own books? So I told this to my grandmother, and she said to me, she said, well, what's taking so long? Like, why not now? Like, what are you doing? And in my mind, I was in grad school at the time. I was like, I'm doing a lot, grandma. What you mean? Like, wait, like, why? But she was right. Like, what are you doing? And to this day, I'll never forget the best advice she gave me when I told her I wanted to start writing books. She said, well, surround yourself around people who are doing what it is that you want to
That's
do.
right. Like-minded people.
Yes, and she told me that, and I ran with it. I started to Google and research book festivals and venues, and that's actually where I met
Right.
my illustrator because he was in Philly at the time. My illustrator is actually based in California,
Oh,
but he was
wow.
in Philly at the time. I got his card, and then I think a couple months later, I actually followed up. I said, I did write a book. What are the steps for getting you to illustrate for me? And then
Exactly.
he walked me through the whole process. So, could my teacher be a superhero? I started writing in 2010, but finally didn't get it done until maybe 2012. And it's just a story that I took and exaggerated from what I was doing as a teacher. I had a student in particular who hated school, and his mom told me
Mm.
that ever since he got you as a teacher, now he likes school. Now he don't fight with me to get dressed in the morning. Like, you must be a
Right.
superhero or something. And I just took that and kind of ran with it. So
Yes.
that's my first book. That's the
So,
one I'm very proud of.
so with that book,
Mm-hmm.
explain to me once again, like the title and what that book is about.
It is about a boy who starts a new school, and he quickly discovers that his new teacher, Miss Lane, is unlike any other teacher he's ever met before. And one day, Miss Lane tells him a secret that he will never forget.
Mm.
So it's a good story because it's about the way children feel about teachers at first, like, oh,
Yes.
right? But then just in the way that she teaches him and connects with him, he feels as though there's a spell on me, like you must be doing something, right?
Wow.
So he tries to do what most kids would do, which is uncover her
Mhm.
her superhero tricks, and then he finds out that she's not a superhero. She's just an amazing teacher, and he's proud to know that. So
That's wonderful.
yeah.
Okay, so book number 2.
So book number 2 is called "Could My Neighbor Be a Prince?" So what I'm doing with my books, I formulate the title to be a question.
Yes. And
Um,
why do you do that?
because my experience with children is that they're very inquisitive
Inquisitive.
and that they always have a question, and that question always leads to the way I do it. It always
I
leads to a
think we
teachable
lost you.
moment. Yeah, it leads to a teachable moment. You froze on me. You still there, Kim?
We're back.
We're good. Yep. I was waiting for
Thank you. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So I formulate all the titles to be questions because I'm trying to establish a series and something unique about my books, as well as just to provide a teachable moment. There's always a message in my books. So, Could Neighbor Be a Prince? The main character, David, there he is, David, he gets a new neighbor. And in his mind, because of the way the neighbor dresses, he thinks the neighbor is some form of royalty.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it says an unusual family moves to the neighborhood. As David makes a new friend, he quickly learns that this royal family is full of new surprises.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I actually got this idea when I was teaching in Camden for a couple years. I used to notice how when at pickup, how some of the other kids would kind of gawk at the women who were dressed covered because they just didn't understand it.
Right.
And I just took that again and just kind of like ran with my imagination on that.
So nice.
What would that look like if I was a kid? Like probably royalty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So did you get
moment?
Yeah. Did you get any information from someone who really wear these?
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
Yes, I did. Because what I actually did too, I put the Arabic alphabet at the end of the book.
Wow.
Yeah, but I definitely did do some research about
that is so nice.
The name of what they wear and all that stuff. So
yes,
it's a story. Yeah,
that is really interesting.
Yes,
I like that, and it is a teachable moment.
Yes,
it's a teachable book.
Yes.
So, what about your third book?
My third book is called "Does Every Teen Play Fair?" So again, another question. And again, the same character. So now David struggles to enjoy his favorite sport because he suspects that the other team may not play by the rules. He quickly learns that it is how you play that counts, not who you play for. So this book I got inspired by when I was a T-ball coach. So I coached T-ball in Camden for 2 years. When I was teaching there, I also coached T-ball. So shout out to the North Camden Little League. And I just felt like you always want to join the team that has the nice uniforms, that win all the time. They got the legacy going, but it's like you don't know the rules of the game. You don't even know sportsmanship, the fundamentals. So again, another experience in my life that I took and kind of exaggerated and illustrated in a children's mind. And so this one teaches sportsmanship and how to play by the rules.
That's right. Can teach some of us parents how to do that.
Oh, the parents was the worst ones. Don't even get me started. They were the worst ones. The side coaches.
Oh, yeah.
But it was fun. I enjoyed teaching. I dedicate that book to that T-ball team. It's a really great league.
Did we freeze again?
Uh-oh. Okay, she'll come back. I'll just hold up that last book. Okay. Yep. We're here. I'm good.
And the last book is?
And the last book is separate from the three. The first three were kind of me generating a series, kind of like Harry Potter by having the same different experiences. Okay. This fourth book is actually my latest one. This one came out November. And this one I dedicated to my grandmother.
Okay.
So this one is very short. It's called Call Your Grandma. And this one is about exploring the joys that celebrate the bond between grandmothers and their grandchildren. As this book shines light on the special connection and how to keep it alive. So no matter how old you are or how far you go, always try to call your grandma.
That is a beautiful. Listen, I like that title just because I'm a grandmother of 5. So yes. I really love that title. And I will be getting that book definitely.
Yeah, this one's super short. It's very shorter than all my other books. Yeah, and it's just simply about the different reasons why you would want to call your grandmother. Because like I said, my grandma was the one who pushed me to write. Like she's kind of like, well, why are you waiting? Like go ahead and get it done. And she passed in 2018.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and ever since then, it's kind of been a void. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I just wanted to write about my favorite thing to do with her, which
Uh-huh.
was talk on the phone. If there's nothing else I miss more, it's talking to her on the phone, because she would call you. She would say, "I just called to holler at you. What
Oh,
you up to?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm just trying to get my life together." And she'd be like, "Well, you got it yet?" Like she was just really a joy to talk
that's
on
the
the
truth. There's nothing like a grandmom.
phone. Nothing like your grandma. Nothing like
Nothing like.
yeah.
So, out of all four of your books, which
Yes.
one is your absolute favorite book?
Oh,
Or do you
well,
have? Do you not have one? Do you like them all equally? And thanks, Jermel, for sharing.
I love all my books equally. It's a struggle between the grandma book and the superhero book. Superhero one, because that's my first one. That's where I got my feet wet. I got to see what it was like.
Yes,
Grandma book, just because I feel like you should call
that's
your
right.
grandma. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned something to me earlier. Since we met, you
Mhm.
said that you got married. Tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about your personal life, real quick.
Yeah, so I married this really, really sweet man named Christopher, and he and I actually dated when we were in our 20s, right? So this is funny. So we met the summer of my senior year in college,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then he broke up with me like right before I was about to graduate college.
What?
Yep. And then, so then life happens. I graduate college, I get an apartment, I travel, you know what I mean? Like I live, and then he also lived his life. He got married and divorced and had children, you know
Wow.
what I mean? And then we just reconnected a few months after my grandmother passed.
Wow.
We just reconnected and been together ever since.
Wow. Isn't that something?
I know, isn't that crazy?
Now, do you have kids of your own?
No, I don't have any kids that I've birthed, but my
Mhm.
3 step boys have been a blessing. They call me Lovey.
Oh,
We don't say stepmom, so my name at home is Lovey.
that is so cute.
Yes, I have their 18, 11, and 5.
Wow.
Yes,
And you look all of 18 right now.
exactly. So it's nice to be like
That's so nice, though.
your stepmom.
And what grade do you teach?
So I teach K-8.
Oh, okay.
I teach K-8 because I started out teaching in 2010 as a kindergarten teacher. And then 2 years into that position, the school librarian, I don't know what happened to her, but that position opened up. So I found myself jumping at the chance to do it, because my favorite time of the day when I was teaching was that reading literacy block. Like math and science, but when I got to read a book to the kids, that was like my favorite. Yeah. So I said, all right, well, can I get into this position? So I was at Camden at the time, and they said, yes, you can be our new school librarian, just on the contingency that you go back to school for it. So I already had my master's in elementary education, but I went back for the school librarian.
Oh, okay.
And I've been in that position ever since. So I'm like a special. I'm like art, music, and gym. They see me for 40 minutes and they go back. But I do love being able to see every kid in school. Like I know every single
And
kid.
pretty much they're your children.
Yeah,
You see a lot of children every day.
every day, all day.
And it is special. I I don't know what happened or how I am interviewing so many children's authors in a row. It just seemed like
That's
everyone.
good.
I know, but you know what? I really like the fact that we do have the children's authors, because it start at home and it start when these kids are small.
It really does. It really does. That's why I really try to push my joy of reading to students,
Mhm.
because I feel like it'll transcend, especially when they
Yes,
see
it
like
does.
you can't do anything without a relationship with words.
That's it.
And I try to tell them, I don't care what you want to be. You want to be a YouTuber, you want to be an NFL player. Like these kids want to be just everything under the sun, which is great. But it's like you have to read. You just have to read. So I try to push them to read. I try to tell them how there's many different stories out there that can
Yep.
spark your interest, but you have to have a relationship with words if you
You
want
definitely have to. Even if you were to, play a sport or become
to.
like an athlete, you still need to know how to read those contracts.
Yes.
You still need to know how to comprehend those contracts.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to put all of your trust in a lawyer or something like that. You want to be able to comprehend and read some of those contracts and everything too. So it
Exactly.
is fundamental. Everyone should be able to read,
Right.
and it starts when you're young. So
Yes.
that's why I appreciate you all writing these children's books, because it does make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's anyone on here that would like to ask a question or a comment for Nicole, just, let us know. Just put the comments in the section and we'll be able to answer those comments for you. Also, please, if you are on, because we're on several different platforms, if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, and also make sure you comment. Sorry about that.
No worries.
And I will not be outside again. It is a holiday, y'all.
Yes.
Forgive me.
Yes.
Forgive me. And I didn't have plans. I wasn't trying to do anything today. Um we just wanted to make dinner on a grill and then go back in the house. If you saw the bottom half of me, you'll probably laugh. But no. But I just wanted to make sure that we did this. But please, if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, and also make sure you comment. But I wanted to ask you, um what now, I know the children inspired you to write,
Yes.
but what why do you keep doing what you do? What keeps motivating you to continue to write these books?
I think I'm instilled with this weird sense of ambition. I really don't know. I think I get it from my mom. You know what I mean? Like I've watched her work
Mhm.
so hard that I have no choice but to be great because of just the way I grew up with her working so hard. I just don't want to let her down. My grandmother's another factor, but I'm very ambitious. Like even as a
Yeah.
school librarian, I want to be like the best in my field, in my household. Like I'm just very ambitious, but I keep writing because I keep having experiences that I
Mhm.
deem as memorable,
Yes.
that I feel like have to be shared, that I feel like children can learn from. So
Exactly.
I keep writing. Yeah, I get something out of it that I can't get through anything else, so that's why I keep doing
Well, that's a good thing, and that's a good reason to keep going.
it.
I say the same thing about the Arts and Authors Extravaganza. I enjoy meeting people, great people like yourself and all the other authors and artists. And every year, even though we have new people come,
Hmm.
uh, excuse me, we have regulars come most of the
Hmm.
time. We still have a lot of new people that come, and I get to meet even more people. So, that's why I continue to do the Arts and Authors Extravaganza, because it's a great experience. And like you said, in order for us to continue to do what we do, we have to continue to be around like-minded people.
Hmm.
We have to continue to share our work, share our books. Um, just share our stories in general. And that's why I keep doing what I do. And look, we're how many years down the line since
I
what,
know, I
2000?
know.
I'm like, really?
It's great that you do what you do. It really is great that you provide that space for so many like-minded people to be together. It was so beneficial for me. It was really great. I'm so glad I
Well,
did.
I thank you for that. I really do. Because sometimes, like, you want to quit. You
Mhm.
have it in your mind like, oh my God, this is just too much, I'm tired.
Mhm.
But then you have people like yourself that just lift you back up and make you think, oh, well, what you're doing is a fabulous thing. And, you know, just keep going. And that's one of the main reasons why I keep going. I just keep doing it because I know I'm reaching people. I
Yes.
know that, there's so many people. There's even readers that come out to the event that haven't even started their book yet, but are curious about writing a book or,
Right.
Something like that. So they get the information from the authors and from the resources that we provide. And then all of a sudden they're an author, and then they write their book, and then they come and rent a table for the next year or something
Yes.
like that. I mean, and it just keeps going round and round and round. It just keeps going.
It does. It
And
really does. And what's nice about self-published authors, or just authors
mhm,
I've kind of connected with over the years, it's nice to see how willing
yes,
they are to give you the information, to provide you with the tools. Like my illustrator, for
exactly.
him to lay out everything for me, like, okay, this is what we do step one, this is how you do this is how you do that. Like,
Yes,
it was so different than my realm as an educator, because let me tell you,
exactly.
teachers don't like to share. A
Yeah, they
teacher,
don't. Well, a
they will
lot
have
of
a
people
good
don't like to
lesson.
share either.
Right.
So,
Teachers will have a good
they
lesson
don't want to
if
give
they
their
teach
contact, or
themselves.
they don't want to share,
Yes.
or so
Yep.
really, a lot of people don't like to share.
Yeah.
But when you're around like people like me and like some of the other authors and artists that come, everybody's willing to
To tell
help.
you. Right. Right.
They're willing to help. They're willing to share their resources, and
Hmm.
and these are lifetime. Some of these connections are lifetime connections that you
Yes.
make at these events. And I believe I was talking to somebody earlier about like when they come out to the event, sometimes they say that they don't get a lot of sales at the event and so forth, but
Hmm.
they don't understand that sometimes it's not all about how much you can make right then and there. It's
Exactly.
about the connections that you can make, and
Right.
then the books that you can sell after the event.
Hmm.
Because out of 65 to 70 vendors, no one person could possibly get around to every single last one of you's vendors. And then you may have a book that I'm not even interested in.
Right.
So you can't expect for me to sell a book if you're not interested in buying that book.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to it, but just being in that room, getting your information, telling your story, being able to tell your story, being able to form the connections, and you know and get people that may be interested in buying your book at a later date.
Yeah.
It's to me, I think it's crucial.
Yes. Yes. And for me, I learned that it's kind of like a double-edged sword because of my profession as a
Hmm.
school librarian, because a lot of the times some things that I'll learn or get from, I can utilize
That's
in
right.
my teaching capacity. And I remember doing the Collingswood Book Festival one year,
I
and
love that one too.
that's a great one. I,
Yes,
I did decent there, but what I remember most about it was who I met there,
that's right.
because I met Devon Clark, who's another children's author,
Hmm.
and he's like amazing what he does. Got his information, and then he actually came to my school, I think twice. I had him
See,
come as like for an author visit. And he did his whole production, and because
yes.
his books are on a different level,
Uh-huh.
and I think now he has like a video game. Like, you just, it's nice to
It
see
does. It
people
makes a
grow and
difference.
evolve. Yeah.
It really does. So, what do you have in the making? What do you have coming up next?
Coming up next, so I have two things.
Okay.
So I have a short and a long term. So my short term goal is to get more online content to build
Hmm.
my read alouds. I did a Books by Nicole story time online for the
Nice.
first time, and that went really well. So I want to do that again. So just to really build up some more digital online content.
That's
That's
so
my
cool.
short term goal. Long term, hopefully, the next year or so, I do want to work on creating an app and doing something more in depth with my books, making the characters come to life. You know what I mean?
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah. So that's the goal. That's what I'm having in my head right now. So we'll see.
Oh,
But, I mean, it's hard. It's such a process
it,
to
it
do
really
it.
is a process.
Yeah.
And I think I was telling someone uh that I interviewed last time. I think it was right before, because I had a special edition last week, but
Hmm.
right before that, we were talking about characters. And you know uh Hazel McGriff, she has characters that she actually made, you know she has the actual characters that she made, like life characters.
Wow.
And I thought that was pretty neat. She also put them on pillows and so forth. And also, I have another friend, Tabitha.
Uh-huh.
She does puppets. She makes puppets out of her characters, from her book, and she actually acts out the characters during story time. And when I tell you, I think that's the most clever
Yes.
idea ever. And she's the best storyteller ever too. But just to bring your characters to life, I think
Right.
is really special. And putting them on towels and pillows and masks and stuff. I think it's so clever to do things like that, because especially as a children's author, because these are things that kids can use. Not only kids, adults can use them too, actually.
Yeah.
But I think it's really special when you do something like that. And when do you anticipate these things are going to happen, like for the digital and so forth?
Hopefully soon. I mean, the school year is coming to a close, so that's great, because that takes a lot of my time. And when I'm not teaching, I'm working part-time at the public library.
Yes.
So probably over the summer, I could probably jump off a lot of that stuff.
Yes. No, close the door. Close the door. Close the door. Go get Auntie Anna. Close it. Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to be outside while I keep them inside.
Then they want to be outside.
Oh my goodness. Asking for a lollipop. Now I'm like, that you could ask Auntie in there for a lollipop. But now it made me lose my train of thought. But it was something I was going to ask you about the virtual.
Yes.
Like how did you deal with that during the school year?
I to be honest, I liked it.
Really?
I know as a parent it's probably not the best, but as someone who's ambitious and got like a lot to do at once, it's nice to be able to work from home. Like people who work from home, like I love those people, because I didn't mind it at all. Like I would have a lesson going on in Google Classroom,
right?
Folding clothes over here on the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed being at home, because I feel like I got so much done during virtual, but right. I know it's not everyone's favorite. Like I know you would rather be in person.
I think it's harder for the ones who have multiple kids.
Yes.
If you have did we come back? Okay, we're back.
Yes.
So the ones that have more than one child, I think it was a little bit more difficult, because you had to spread yourself amongst, like,
exactly.
And
you got to keep a schedule in order for, like, you got to know that like 11 o'clock you got to be back on, but you got to break
exactly.
I definitely get it. But I personally liked it, because and also some teachers, including myself, they give us the extra stuff to do. Right. You know what I mean? Like, how school districts.
I thought it would be extremely hard, because I heard there was a lot of teachers that were going through.
Yeah. It was
not
tough.
like it at all.
It was tough. But once you get the hang of it, I feel like it's not that bad. But for me, because I am considered a special area teacher, I get these other duties that I'm not really fond of, like lunch duty and recess.
Plus, you're probably more organized than the rest anyway.
Yeah, I like not having to do all the extra stuff and being able to teach at my time in my computer with my students, and then go get off and do whatever,
Exactly.
I didn't hate virtual, but I definitely do love being in person and interacting with the kids.
Right. Well, that's a good thing. And what? Oh, okay. So, what is your most challenging thing about being an author? What's your most challenging?
Being my own promoter as well. That's probably the most challenging, because I can write all day. I can definitely tell stories in a moment. But the fact that I have to find the time to research events, to research, to organize the day that things are happening. And okay, I should probably get on this because Mother's Day is coming up. The grandma book would do good here. Ramadan is on this day.
Uh-huh.
Prince, like just that alone, that's probably the most challenging because I feel like I could be doing more. You know what I mean? I feel like that's where I
Mm-hmm.
drop the ball sometimes, being my own promoter and marketer.
Yes.
Because
Well,
I,
marketing is the most. I believe that's the hardest.
yeah,
And once you write a book, it doesn't stop there.
yes,
I believe that's the easiest to write the book.
yes, yep,
But so let me see. Oh, I almost clicked myself off. But when you actually have to promote that book, and a book shouldn't stop with just you writing a book. Like
mhm,
even with yourself, you wrote that book, you can put it in libraries.
mhm,
You can do storytelling when you go to the libraries. You can get speaking engagements. I mean, it doesn't stop with you writing those books.
exactly,
But
yeah,
the hard part is finding
mhm.
those different engagements and the
Fix my screen.
we're back. But you know what? We're getting ready to end this pretty soon. But I just appreciate the fact that you actually took the time out on Memorial Day of all days to, actually do this show,
Of course.
and to keep us on schedule. But tell us what you like best about Memorial Day, since we are here at this holiday.
What I like best about I like being off. I like being off. I mean, I definitely don't want to forget the reason why.
That's right.
Yes, I have
We
some family
can't forget the
who
reason
served.
why.
Yes, a friend who served. But yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I just like to remember, like, my grandfather, some of my other relatives that have passed on, but they have served.
Mhm.
I also have a lot of family members that are still, serving in the military, and some that, have recently got out. I'm an ex-military wife, but yeah. So I mean, I appreciate the holidays despite any of the negativity and stuff that's going on out here. I
Mhm.
mean, we still have to appreciate,
Days like this.
and
Yes.
take each day as it comes,
Yes.
as it comes. And I just appreciate you, finding the time to come on, even in my craziness, sitting out here in my daughter's backyard. But,
No worries. I appreciate you having me.
and I'm trying to do it on the cell phone. It is really, technology is really something. Is I mean, when some people say that they can't do something, I
Mhm.
just look at them and I'm like, why are you coming at us with these excuses?
Mhm.
If you really want to do something, you're going to make it happen,
Yeah.
regardless of where you're at.
Yeah.
And look at us.
You're gonna figure it out.
You have to figure it out.
And it's
And
amazing what a phone can do. Because let me tell you, virtual learning. I was out here holiday shopping, teaching classes from my phone. So
oh my God.
yeah, I was making it work, honey. Because
You
yeah,
have to.
yeah,
And everything isn't, I just hate sometimes, and I think we talked about this earlier, when everything is so formal and everything is
yeah.
so professional and stuff like that. As long as you get your story out and you're not all over the place,
Mhm.
I think, it's still a good thing. You're
Yeah.
just getting this story out, you're doing what you have to do, and you're making it work.
Exactly.
And I appreciate you for coming on. I appreciate the ones that did come on, that's, you know uh watching. I'm sorry if I can't answer any of your questions right now, but if you put them at the bottom of the page, I'm quite sure that we'll be able to answer those questions for you. And also, don't forget to like and share uh this video, because we want to promote these books, And if you can promote, put the links to all the books at the bottom.
Oh, of course.
Look at those beautiful books. And if you can put the links at the bottom, we'll be sure to support you, because that's what we're here for. We're here to support you with the different books that you have and the stories. And most of us have children or grandchildren, and we would like to share those books with our grandchildren. And do you have any last and final words for us before we tune off?
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to
Anytime.
my story. Thanks for taking the time to learn about little old me and what it is that I love to do as a hobby that I'm hoping to grow to
Did
be
we
something
freeze
really big
again?
to leave behind.
I think.
Oh. Let me put my link while we wait. Put my link in the chat.
Oh, we froze again. We're back.
We're good. Yes. I know. I was just saying that it's nice to be able to have a hobby that I enjoy so much.
Yes.
And I just hope that that my whole purpose for doing what I do happens, which is to leave a legacy, which is
That's
to
right.
leave my mark on this world in some small shape or form. So yeah, I just would
And we're
like
teaching these children.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
have to.
just check out Books by Nicole. Leave a Google review. My website, I'll put in the chat. And
Yep, just tell us too, and we'll also put it in the chat.
yeah, it's booksbynicole.wixsite.com.
Now, Nicole can be spelled several different ways. Spell Nicole for us.
Nicole.
Okay.
No H. No
The
H.
regular way.
The regular way, yeah. I'm not fancy, just Nicole. I'm on Facebook under Books by Nicole. I'm on Facebook as Nicole Denise Nicole. My middle name first, Denise Nicole. Yeah, I think that's it. Twitter, Books by Nicole. YouTube, Books by Nicole. Because what I also did, what I learned along the way as a self-publisher, I learned that you got to make sure you have your stuff in order and
That's
you
right.
protect it. So I started a company called Books by Nicole. So all my books are kind of licensed under that. You know what I mean? So if anything were to happen, it doesn't affect me.
That's
Nicole,
so true.
if I wanted to only affect Books by Nicole. So support Books by Nicole by buying one of my books.
And see, and that's what I like about what you just said. You learn as you go.
Yes.
And that's why I branded my name. I branded everything falls under KimRoss-Hollingsworth.com.
Mm-hmm.
Because you learn as you go. And we do have a lawyer within the group. I have a lawyer friend that helped us out with all this trademarking and stuff like that. So, we definitely need to follow rules. Most people don't think that there's rules to this game.
Yes.
But there really are rules to this game.
Can't just be out here writing anything. You gotta.
That is the truth. But I just want to thank you for coming on. I thank you for following all these years.
Yes. Oh, I was always going to keep an eye out on the thing that gave me probably the most information as an author.
Well, I appreciate you. And when you reached out, I was like, really? You said, I hope you no, what did you say? You said I know you don't remember me, or I hope you remember me, or something like that. Yeah, how you put it. And I was like, yeah, I definitely remember you. I remember that photo.
Yeah, it was so long ago, and I feel like since the one I went to, which was big, but I feel like since that one, I'm sure it's gotten bigger. So I've probably seen so many. So I don't know.
And our next one is August 21st. It's at the Crown Plaza in Cherry Hill. Excuse me. I apologize. It's now called the Doubletree in Cherry Hill. I know they changed their name on me. They got me good.
Yeah.
But we've been there for almost 4 years, and it's like when you always have known it for the Crown Plaza, it's like automatic. but it's called the Doubletree now, and
Okay.
it's going to be at, in Cherry Hill, still on Route 70. But we have 65 to 70 vendors again that's going to be there, and we're almost to our limit. So, if there was anyone that was interested, they better hurry up, because I'm not going past 70. To be in the room comfortably, we need to make sure that we don't go over that limit, and I'm definitely not going to, and it will go over into next year if that was to happen.
Yeah.
But I hope you can at least come in, or but I know you're not going to be around at that time. I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
But if you know anyone that wants to come and join us, feel free, have them come and join us.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to spread the word. Yeah. I would be surprised, Kim, if in like a couple years, what you're doing is like Collingswood Book Festival. If you're taking over the street, you're not just in a room anymore, like you guys are out here picking up blocks. I would not be surprised.
Yes. We have the singers, we have the spoken word artists, we have the live band, we have the restaurant, we have the bar. I mean, we want to make it comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. We make it comfortable for everyone to come out, have a great time, and share our books.
Have you ever thought about doing it twice a year?
No. It's like, yes, I have. It's a lot of work. And you know what? It's funny that you say that, because I am going to be having it twice a year, but it's not going to be the arts and authors. We're trying to do the arts and authors kids. So we're just going to strictly dedicate to children. So all of our children's authors, all of our kid authors, all of our kids spoken word artists. So we're thinking about, having that. So technically it will be twice a year. So I can't wait for that to happen. And most likely it's going to start next year in 2023. Not this year, because it's too much stuff going on. I have a child that's graduating high school and going to college this year. And, things are a little tight. So I'm not going to do it this year, but definitely next year we're going to have Arts and Authors Kids. And then we're going to have the regular Arts and Authors extravaganza.
Okay. That's a plan.
I know, but I thank you so much. I thank everybody who is listening, and I definitely look forward to, actually in 2 weeks, we have someone else that's coming on. I will put the information at the bottom of the page, and I hope you all will join us. But I thank you all so much. I thank you, Nicole Denise Smith, for joining us.
Thank you.
You're welcome anytime. And we'll see you all next time. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.